Okay, so do I regret summoning on Itto? My answer is gonna have to be yes. This is surprising, but I also have to consider all of the summons that I dumped into Itto and his weapon, and considering how unlucky I got, I probably spent like nearly 400 summons for Itto, his weapon and his C2. Like, that's insane. Yeah, I don't have good memories of summoning on that banner. At this point, he's a character who has never kept up. When it was the 2.0 meta, he was pretty good. He wasn't, especially at C2, right? He was pretty good, right? He would go into Spiral Abyss, and I would be confident that, yeah, we're going to we're going to wipe, we're going to destroy everything, right? I come out of Spiral Abyss now, and it's like, wow, that was pretty close. And I've used Nevi on the other team, right? Like, Itto's now become one of those characters that I have to put a super strong character with. Whereas before, it used to be that Itto was the super strong character, and he would carry, like, Yoimiya on the other half. Because Yoimiya, I didn't have a proper team for. Well, I did, but I didn't, have it necessarily, like, as good as I had it, nowadays. Ever since Dendro came out, I've realized that, all those people who are like, oh, it didn't make sense, it's not good for the lore or accuracy, I don't care.
You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200.
How bad do you want your game to be so lore accurate that it hurts the gameplay aspect? And I've gotta say, Itto, yeah, he should have had a Dendro reaction. He's fine right now, yeah, sure, he's fine, but fine isn't good enough anymore when Hyper Bloom is out damaging him on, like, solo runs, right? He's just, I don't know, man. He needs a new artifact set, first of all. That's the number one thing we need, because defense plus 30%, and then what? He gets 20... He only gets 24% defense and geo damage bonus from this. That's 54% defense and 24% geo damage bonus. The fact that we need a better set than this is kind of insane. He's getting 54% defense because of it.
Don't you dare.
We need one that bases itself off of Crystallize. We need to get Itto off of the triple Geo set. That's the only way to save him. The triple Geo team is just his best option, right? Maybe not for C0, because C0 Sinyun, I believe, is his best option. But at C2, he's incentivized to still be ran with triple Geo. We need an entire overhaul of the dude. I wish I had not, honestly, gone for his C2, just settled with C1. Like, honestly, he wasn't worth it. I do. Like, because I could have had Alhaitham. I could have had, I don't know, Nilu when she first came out instead of getting her afterwards, right? I could have had those characters. I get that I probably, I could have gotten Yelan on her first rerun, right? I would have had way too many summons for Kazuha, because Kazuha is what I spent my summons on that update, and I skipped Yelan because of it, right? I could have saved all of my summons for Yelan, but no. It's just, Itto hasn't aged well. He doesn't feel as strong as he used to. And the fact that my character gets worse the more that I play him, or the more, like, power creep does exist in Genshin. It just doesn't exist as hard as, like, something like Star Rail, where they're releasing a new best unit in the game every week, right? It feels like, Star Rail, I just see the YouTube video titles being like, yo, he's the best unit in the game. Like, you don't see that with Genshin, right? You just don't. You see these people who go like, oh, wow, really cool character, right? You don't see that. But then when we have Nevi and, like, Fiorina, then you'll see it. But, like, eventually it'll be a slow, gradual power creep, and especially with the 3.0 is where you really see it. And now looking back on the 1.0 characters like Eula, like even Hu Tao now has been power crept, even though she technically got a new, better partner. She's gotten help. But this guy, no, he hasn't gotten helped. He hasn't.
Don't give me hope.
He needs serious help. And Chiori, will she help him? Maybe. I don't know. Is she gonna buff him? Because other than that, why would you not run Chiori? Like, is Chiori gonna have buffs for being on a triple Geo setup? I hope not. I hope they don't relegate Chiori to being on a triple Geo, because that would suck. because I know how it feels to be put on triple Geo, because it used to be that you could get away with like just Goro and Itto, but nowadays you really just want that triple Geo because you have Zhongli for the 20% res shred, you have Goro providing a load of defense, like there's no point, and there's nobody you would put in that 4th slot. Like, nobody fits in that 4th slot. I mean, Chiori and maybe Albedo now will fit, but we need an actual to get away from putting Zhongli, and I don't think we're ever going to get away with putting Goro with Itto. Goro is too good for Itto, right? He buffs him too much.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Somehow, Noelle was able to get away from, putting Goro on her team because there's just so much off-field damage that you can put. Itto doesn't have that, right? It's just, I don't know, man. I really did like Itto when at the beginning, but after 3.0, he didn't get a buff then, and characters were just coming out stronger than him mainly. Like Al-Haytham was the big culprit there, and then Tignari. I'm not so sure if Tignari's better, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me he was, right? Like, Itto just isn't that guy anymore. He used to be. He used to be pretty good, and then he kind of fell off, right? It's just, I don't go into Spiral Abyss, and I'm pretty sure I said this. I've recorded this video a couple times. I don't go into Spiral Abyss, and it's like, it's super easy win, right? It's not. It's, sort of like, oh, maybe Itto will, like, it's not a guaranteed win. Normally it is, but sometimes, I could feel the power difference between him, Zhao, Nevi, and my C3 writing, right? The power difference between those characters. It's completely different. I wish we had a better, support character for Itto, specifically for Itto, right? Like, maybe just give him another Goro, right? If that's as bad as it goes, give him another Goro, because he needs it to keep up with characters. He needs it. But yeah, I mean, that's, other than that, it's literally, I like him, playing him, but he's not as insanely powerful nor as fun to play after using him for 2 years. That's a big thing. Like, he's not as fun to play as using him, 2 years ago when I first got him, right? Of course. I don't know. He's still a good character. I like him, but I'm never gonna really be that kind of, like, I'll put all my trust into him, right? I can put all my trust into Nevi. I can't do that for, Itto. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.